Well, hello, my friends. I just realized I didn't finish chewing my Tic Tacs, my little breath mints. One moment. I was so mesmerized just watching the little countdown timer. I kind of forgot that I'm going to be on camera in a second. Anyway, hello and happy 65th Playdate, everyone. I hope you are having a lovely weekend. So we are coming off of our 9 of Cups week, our third Cups in a row. When I went back and kind of updated the thumbnail, I'm like, oh, we have been going through an emotional roller coaster with these cups lately. So it'll be interesting to see what we get today. So let me know if you had any experience with this card. Did it come up for you? Did you have any thoughts? Did you try the activity? And I will say some hellos. So first one in today, we have Elizabeth. Hello, hello. Gracia T, getting the time right. You know, it's been, the last couple of weeks was a little tricky because not everybody's clocks changed, but I think the UK caught up with us today. So nice to have you folks back with us. I mean, you're still in the future, so what I just said makes no sense, but you get where I'm going with that. Corvin, Tail Raven Tarot, making it in early today. Hello. And Richard, Longman Tarot, nice to see you. Barbara Sharp, first time being on time for me and only a 3-hour time difference. Well, welcome. It's nice to have you here bright and early for Playdate. Jackie Jacaranda, hello. And let's see, Powell's Tarot Tent is here. And Tarot Trainee, Michelle, hi. A.Up Simon has a latte and is ready to partay. Is that how you said it? Partay. All right, let's make Playdate a party today. I'm cool with that. I came dressed with my fancy earrings today, so I'm ready. Let's see. Catching up here, Becca, hello, stuffing face and settling down. TK says hi. I'm sure you've heard him already. Chris, hello, Elemental Cartomancy. Patrice is here. Playdate 65. All right, we have a White Tree Tarot is here. And no! When I do that, that means the chump japped. The chat jumped to the very bottom. All right, let me find my place again here. I was doing so well. Let's see, I said hi to Patrice. White Tree Tarot, I think that's where I left off. And then we have Feline Fortuna. Hello, happy Sunday. And, oh, there she is. What card are we thinking? Maybe a better question is, can you remember which cards are left? Well, we know if Neem was here, she would totally have it down. She's keeping track better than you and I are, Elle. And then, yeah, abandoned ship. Why would you abandon ship? Don't leave me, Chris. Don't leave me. Donna Riedler is here. Hi, Donna. And Maharet, nice to see you. And Ann Fort is here. I'm keeping safe and well. I hope you and everyone else are as well. Blue Crescent Tarot, hi Deanne, listening and playing Legos. Well, that's really appropriate for a live chat that's called Playdate, isn't it? I mean, I feel like that's totally appropriate. Gigi Nilsson is here. Jonathan Daly, aloha. Finally on time for something. You know, I feel like, I don't know, the last few weeks have just felt crazy. And now today is the full moon. So it's going to get weird up in, wouldn't that be fun if we got the moon card today on the full moon? That would be fun. Okay, well, now that I asked for it, the tarot's not going to give it to me. Aquarius Owl, hi Debbie. Marina, hello, hello. Kim Moon Whisper, hello, my friend. And oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Richard. I'm getting to the hair comments. Thank you, Patrice. I went to the salon yesterday. Can you tell? Let's see. Lisa Dom, hello, Lisa. And Miss Pyramid, hello. That's a new name, I feel like, or MS Pyramid. I'm not quite sure how to say that. I shouldn't assume. But nice to see you here. And Pamela Batchelor is here. 9 of Cups played for you through the week. Oh, cute with the fire emojis, Elle. TK is very noisy today. All right. I'm trying to train him not to jump on my lap during the workday when I have meetings, which he likes to do. Let's see. Apparently I'm very chatty today. Jenna, hi, Jennifer Ball's Witch House. And I kind of said that backwards, but you know what I mean. And Spirit Healing Tarot is here. I feel like we have such a big crew today. Kristen Louise is here. Nice to see you, Kristen. Eventually we'll start Playdate. Don't worry. Mallory's here. Hi, Mallory. I'm having too much fun saying hi to everybody who's shown up. Oh, we aren't allowed to have the moon card until Shane is here. Well, then he just better show up. He doesn't dictate Playdate. Oh, that could have been another dangerous slip of the tongue, couldn't it have? Okay, did I make it to the bottom? If I missed anyone, I really, as you can see, I try really hard not to miss anyone. All right, let's get flipped on over here to my StreamYard chat. Yeah, he's like, he's right here. You're going to see him in a second. I see him coming over. He's eyeing my lap. Yeah, I see. Come here. Just come say hi to everybody so we can get this over with. Say, hello, this is me, Noisy Kitty. This is TK for anybody who has not seen him. Do you like this? do you want to go now? All right. Oh, Spitfire Cat. Hi, Spitfire Cat. Speaking of kitties. Okay. Keep chatting. I got to go get coffee. All right. Well, I am about to do that thing where I start asking for your questions. We're going to go ahead and put our 9 of Cups away. And we want to gather our questions. So for anybody who might be new here, I get a list of 5 questions from the group. Hi, Neem. Did I see you come in here? I see people saying hi to Neem. And Regina Tarot. Hi, Regina. So I randomly pick 5 decks from my collection that we will look at to view alternative versions of the card we picked for this week and to answer questions that we bring to the table. So if you have a question like Simon is showing you right here in the chat, put it in all caps for me and hopefully YouTube won't try to filter it out. All right, so Simon has one for us. How do we learn to dance in the April showers when the rain clouds come? Okay, that's kind of beautiful. All right, the Hermit's Cave. In other words, how do we let loose and have a little fun when it's gloomy outside? How do we learn to dance in the April? Put your rain boots on, Simon. When the rain clouds come. Okay. And then we have, let's see here from Elle. Well, you guys are ready this week. Thank you so much. I mean, and I even have a 20-second delay. I didn't feel like there was any delay. So you guys are awesome. Maybe it's just because I'm managing to gab so much today. All right, what do we need to embrace so we are able to most authentically express ourselves this week? Love that. This is something that has been really top of mind for me lately. I think I say that to at least one of the questions every week, which is very awesome. So thank you all for helping me do my personal growth work. We need to embrace, I really need to stay focused today. We're able to most, I finally got a good night's sleep last night, so that really helps. If we would have done Playdate yesterday, you guys would have probably booed me off stage. Not that it's a stage, but ourselves this week. That took me a long time to put that question in. All right. Oh, so Feline wants to come hang out with, or Feline's cat Ziggy wants to come hang out with TK. Words. All right. So from Jonathan, how can we balance rest with action in a healthy way? Always a good question. Jonathan Daly. How can we balance rest with action in a healthy way? Thank you. All right. I need 2 more. Let's see if I've got them. I've got one from Patrice up here that I saw that jumped down. Sheila. Hi, Sheila. Lori. Hi, Lori. Going to say everybody's name twice now. All right. Patrice, how can we be the change we want to see in the world? Always good to be thinking about the larger collective. Patrice. Thank you for bringing a question and a good one, Patrice. How can we be the change we want to see in the world? We are almost ready to start shuffling. I just need one more. Let's see if it's in here. And it is. Chris, thank you. How do we best deal with difficult people tactfully? Is somebody treating you poorly, Chris? Do I need to have a chat with them? I can bring out my Queen of Swords. Let me know. Elemental cartomancy. How do we best deal with difficult people tactfully? All right, we have 5 awesome questions. And let me see if I missed anything in the chat. Simon, I can answer that for you, Chris. All right, looks like people are resonating with our questions today. Oh, let me uncheck that. It's way up here. There we go. TK, go lay down. Oh my gosh. All right, it is time. She'll give him the mom look. Elle knows that look. All right. Hi, Antoinette. Nice to see you. All right, we're starting to shuffle our teeny tiny deck that has 14 cards left in it. All right, so our questions for today from Simon at the Hermit's Cave. How do we learn to dance in the April showers when the rain clouds come? TK, like today is really obnoxious. From Elle, what do we need to embrace so we are able to most authentically express ourselves this week? From Jonathan, how can we balance rest with action in a healthy way? From Patrice, how can we be the change we want to see in the world? And from Chris, Elemental Cartomancy, how do we best deal with difficult people tactfully? Once again, a wide variety of questions that somehow one tarot card is going to manage to answer for us. All right, folks. I'm taking a deep breath this time. And our card this week, Elle, you've been waiting for it, is the Six of Swords. And when I look at the questions, my brain wheels are already spinning thinking, oh, yeah, you guys asked for this card today, didn't you? All right, what do you think? First thoughts? Happy to see this card? Not happy to see this card? It has been quite some time. As you know, Playdate stacked all the swords at the beginning, so it's been a while since we've had a sword. See what you guys think here. My cat makes that noise when he has a toy in his mouth. He's happily announcing his pretend catch. Yeah, I can't figure out what the heck my old man kitty wants. That's for darn sure. TK's howling at the full moon. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Elle says, yay. So Elle is happy to see this. Elizabeth, oh yeah, why not? Go to therapy. There are other meanings as we will explore today, Elle. Maybe this will be good for you. Simon says, listen to the inner voice. Yes, says Richard. Ooh, Regina's bringing some Six of Swords energy to Playdate today. I got Six of Swords for different readings 3 times in the past 2 days. Well. Yes. I got a yes and then a yes from Richard. Corbin says it's one of my favorite cards. This card has been a stalker for me in the past. So I have a lot of feelings, some good, some like, ouch feelings with this card, but it's a good one. Sheila says this makes sense for me. Yes, says Jackie. Simon says forthcoming changes. This is my fave card from the Marielle, says Chris. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, speaking of the Marielle, but I put out a poll on Instagram and here on my community page on YouTube. I want to take a deep dive into one of my decks and really make sure I read the guidebook and really spend some time with it and thoroughly get to know it and review it. And the Marielle is in the lead. So it looks like I'm going to be connecting with that deck as well here pretty soon. Kristen says, don't take your problems with you or they'll puncture the bottom of the boat and sink it. Yeah, a lot of times I think of the swords in this boat as the baggage that we're carrying forward. So we have to choose that very wisely. Lisa says, ooh, perfect for this full moon. Take me to my abundant future, says Antoinette. Simon, prepare for a transition. Lisa's loving it. I think this means Patrice is loving it too. Jackie says, we're on our way to better things. Gracia, yes, let's move on to peaceful waters. Jonathan says, this is such a great card. Debbie, moving away from trouble. So yeah, what do you think first when you see this card? Like what's your go-to meaning? And then what are your other meanings? Let's not just get stuck on our go-tos. That's not fun. Let's make positive changes. I'm ready, says Patrice. Elle says, oh, this is interesting. It's not you, it's them. Take you and your swords and take them to where they'll be appreciated and shine. Yeah, I'm taking my swords. I'm going over to the other side of the river where they will appreciate. Is that about the right tone, Elle? Simon says, at the other side of this transition, you will find a place of inner calm and tranquility, particularly within the mind. Oh, yeah. Becca's coming in. Yep, Six of Swords. Think it's a good one today. Donna says, navigating your way out of a difficult situation. Elizabeth, transition, mental healing, retreat, support, moving, or travel over water. So sometimes we can really take these images quite literally. Oh, thanks for posting a link to my Instagram, Al. I really appreciate that. Kristen, the other side of the reading is you can't run away from your problems. They will come with you even if you change locations. Yeah, I mean, there seems to be plenty of room in the boat for some swords here. So, Gracia, transition and change, accepting the lessons and moving on with a new perspective. Need to escape the current situation for protection. Yeah. Oh, sorry, my chat jumped again on me. Barbara, the swords are the thoughts and ideas that we need to give up on so that we can move forward. We're just hanging out with him all day, folks. Corbin says, go-to meaning, get the fuck out of that situation. You know what? That's a good go-to meaning, I think. Jonathan, it shows the recovery and healing process after the battle in the Five of Swords. The Six of Swords reestablishes order and harmony. You know what? I'm really happy to see this card because I've been getting the Five of Swords a lot lately. In fact, I've been getting all the fives lately. And so I'm hoping this now means we're going to move a bit beyond the fives. Elle says, in one of my decks, it referred to this card as a literal death card. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, because that's not one of the ones that we typically think of as that. Or do more people feel that way about this particular card? Has anybody else heard that? That tone, I know. Regina says, can't go with the flow until the boat is in the water. That's a very good point, isn't it? If it's just sitting there on the beach or on the rocks, yeah, can't really go with the flow then. White Tree Tarot, our mind logic, i.e. the swords, is helping us to get through our turbulent emotions, water, to a calmer place, which makes sense because we've just had 3 weeks of a lot of water, haven't we? Simon says, trust and have faith in your journey. You will be rewarded for your faith. Now, this is a very specific interpretation because you were rejected and escape is the only choice. That feels very sad to me. Debbie says, leaving the past. There we jumped again. There we go. Feline says, it's okay to ask for help. Yes. I like to see the help that's happening in this card. Sometimes I think that's external and sometimes I think it's internal, which means I like to have it all, you know, that whole Libra thing. Jonathan, in this card, we see the rough water to the right of the boat. On the left and to the distance, the water is calm and still. This represents a transition. Absolutely. And worry's still going forward with you, but moving towards solution and resolution. Yeah, this is not an empty boat, is it? We got lots of swords still in our boat. Antoinette, let me take you to Strawberry Fields. There's a song with that. Ooh, could be a fun song game in the Playdate Facebook group this week. Becca says, this always makes me think of a rescue for me from something. Yeah. Recovery. Okay. Kristen says, yes, exactly, Regina. I sometimes read this card than other people do. Oh, and then Regina had said to Kristen, but I like this, like, wherever you go, there you are. Yeah, I think that's a really appropriate quote in a way for this card. Lisa says, change of roads, letting the old and starting a new journey for good. I might be missing something with the exclamation marks there in place of letters. Jonathan, the boat is a symbol of the soul's journey through life's difficulties. The Six of Swords can indicate that our mind and heart are in alignment and that we know exactly what we need. Elle says, it might be hard to remove yourself. You might even have a kitty yelling at you for attention and love. But sometimes you just got to go and do your thing, like play date. Yeah, well, the kitty's in the other room throwing up. That's awesome. Sorry about the overshare. Oh, yeah. There are days. Can I row myself to vacation somewhere? That would be great. Aquarius L says, if it is the river Styx, I see the death reference. He is the ferryman. Patrice, there are many situations we as a collective need to get the fuck out of. I just can't read the acronym. It doesn't sound as good. I'd like to dump some of those swords in the water. Same. Jonathan, a new opportunity can be presented to you, but you may have to leave something behind in order to follow the new opportunity. The Six of Swords represents evolution and change in your soul and mind. Kristen, yes, a kind of death via sailing to the west where the sun sets, or via Lord of the Rings, sailing to the west is going to the Undying Lands where Frodo and Sam find rest. For those who know that story well, I am not that well versed on it, I have to admit. Elle says, oh no, Chris says to Elle and me, I get strong Charon vibes from these cards, firing the dead away from the land of the living. From that point of view, I can see the death side of it. Oh, I see. In response to what Elle was saying about this being a literal death. I don't know if I pronounced that word right, though. Barbara says, no one pays attention to the protector. He needs to emotionally detach in order to do his job of saving the situation. Well, that's interesting, thinking about it in an emotional detachment kind of way. Sip, sip, Jen. I just have water. Yeah. I'm probably, how far behind in the chat I am, because when I choked on my words, that was a little while ago. Elizabeth says the Six of Swords could also mean that you are gaining psychological distance from trouble by exploring your subconscious or gaining distance from the situation to get a wider perspective. Oh, you guys have lots of good thoughts today. Hello, Shanti. Nice to see you. We ready for symbols then? Okay, let me get caught up. Oh, yeah, I think we are, Simon. I'll pull the card up close here and just the melanated. It's right here. How do I keep? Thank you, Elle. Somebody always reminds me. I appreciate it. Okay. Here is. Okay, there it is. Our beautiful melanated. One thing, the one thing that I always notice in the melanated versus the standard is I love to see their facial expressions and stuff. And here we don't see any facial expressions. Oh, Elizabeth was right behind Elle with that. All right, let me get caught up on these, and then I'll pull these up close. Kristen says, escaping oppressive situations, becoming a migrant, seeking asylum. Jonathan says, the esoteric title of the Six of Swords is Lord of Earned Success. The key word is earned. When we earn something, it is usually through very hard work, and specifically hardship. Neem says, Regina Tarot, exactly. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Others can help you get to where you want to go, but they can't change your thoughts. Some things only you can do. Cognitive dissonance, asks Elle. So Simon's talking about the two different waters in the card, moving and still, old and new, the risk of consciously bringing about change and the transition of form. Yes. Hi, Emily. Okay, let me pull the Rider-Waite-Smith up close, and then we'll do the melanated so that you guys can see the symbols that Simon is talking about. And let me know if you see something in this card that you have not maybe seen before. Now, when we pull it up close, your eye first gets drawn to our helper who's rowing our figures across the lake. Now, so we see the turbulent waters down here in the corner, and then obviously smoother waters ahead. I have to admit, it took me a while before I even realized there was a second, smaller human in this card. Talk about being self-absorbed. Jeez. Anyway, here is our melanated. Also really lovely. Always love the colors in this deck. See those choppy waters again. You can see the webcam's light there. All right, let's see what y'all are saying about the different symbols, what you see. Thank you, Simon. All right, we have, coming back to where the chat left me behind, the people. So Simon is pulling again for us, reading off some of the meanings of the symbols from the Ultimate Guide to the writer Waite Smith. We like to reference this each week in Playdate. It's turned out to be really great. So the people, figure 1, your masculine side, figure 2, your feminine side, figure 3, your inner child. Okay, so we're a real well-rounded person then. Jonathan says the 6 of Swords represents what we earned after a long struggle. Like the 6 of Wands, who is a winner, the 6 of Swords is also a winner, but the battle was tougher and more draining. Yeah, we might need a bit more help, right? Deanne, sorry, Deanne. The water in 6 swords often makes me think of just getting away from earthly problems, even if you're just out on a pond and can't really leave, don't need to leave entirely. So just finding a way to kind of separate yourself. Is that what you mean? Yeah, the water, that's true. That's a really good observation in this one, Jackie. We have the turbulent waters are really dark, and then the calm waters are really light. So we see, here we see a little bit of a change in the shade with that turbulence, but here it's very pronounced. I didn't really notice that before. So Simon says the back view, so the fact that we're looking at them from behind, the negative aspects, turning one's back on oneself, a mental one-way street. Positive aspects, a conscious perception of the other side of the coin. So being able to look at things from that different perspective. Okay, I like that. Kristen said the oar is shaking up the water. I'm tired. Someone else can read the symbolism in that. That's an interesting way to think about it, right? Because the oar is in I can never remember which direction, but the oar is in the more troubled, turbulent waters. I never really thought about that either. Simon, the black pole, progress through keeping on the ground, getting to the bottom of things. And then let's see, Richard said, I see it as the card of the refugee. The character in the boat is covered up in disguise. What are you hiding from? When can you release this to be yourself? Yeah, there definitely seems to be sort of this vibe of protection, right? By having the head covered and not being able to see who these people are. Well, TK sure seems to think there's room for him today. he thinks he can take over. He thinks he's like steering the boat. Yeah, I've never seen the different water. Let's see. Chris says the swords are interesting here because they're a danger to the integrity of the boat. Stabbed through the floor, but they'll also be plugging up the holes. So if we remove them, the boat will sink. Oh, now there's a concept. So in other words, now that's making me think because, we talked earlier about the swords being the baggage or the things that we carry forward. Maybe these swords can also be the lessons. So if we can't carry the lessons forward with us, then we're not going to make it, right? So if we see those as that, yeah, okay. You're giving me thoughts, Chris. I like that a lot. Hey, Justin. Was there writing on the stick in the original? Looked like yod. Yod he wave? Huh? I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I'll pull it up close for you if you want to take another look. Okay, let's get some focus first. There we go. That doesn't look like writing to me there. Do you still see it when I pull it up close like that, Justin? I'm curious. Emily says, I can't remember where it originates from, but I remember hearing an interpretation about the boat and the water represent crossing over to the other world after death. I do think it resonates with the notion of leaving things behind. And also, Emily, I don't know if you heard this earlier, but Ella had said that one of her decks, it looks at this card as literal death. So that kind of supports that theory there as well. But, as many times as I've gotten this card, it obviously doesn't always mean that, thank goodness. Elle says, doing right by you and your inner child. I had to get back from a jump there. No more self-sacrifice or self-betrayal. Loving yourself enough to remove yourself from negative situations. Yes. Jonathan says swords deal with intellectual aspects like thought, words, and everything concerning communication. The battle may be done with our mind, thoughts, words, and communication with others. Barbara says to Chris, a great observation. The fragility of the ego as a metaphor for the tenuous situation of the integrity of the boat. That's the way to look at it. Paul says too much water under the bridge. Kristen, the oar could be a kind of wand, your passion and purpose pushing you to think or communicate differently. I like that too. I love you guys bring such cool stuff. So it still looks like a Hebrew letter. That's interesting. I wonder. Jonathan, as with all the sixes, there is a codependence of some kind. In this case, the ferryman is helping the woman and child. Jonathan says, if the primary association is with the ferryman, you may feel like you are obligated to help another. If the association is with the woman and child, you may feel like a victim needing help from others. Right? It's kind of a lot of the way that I look at the Six of Pentacles, which is another six, right? Depending on your perspective, you can see yourself as being the one to be perhaps providing to others, or you could look at yourself as being one of the recipients that are depicted in that card, right? So what side of this kind of giving and receiving energy are you on? Elle says, protection is the arm I put around you because I remember feeling small and I don't want you to feel that way because I used to. You don't need to know how bad it is out there. So where is the protection coming from? Where's that quote from? That's really cool. Longman Tarot, Richard, the ferryman is using a punt to drive the boat. The river isn't deep, but has awkward currents. You have to stay well balanced to punt a boat, and it is neckering. Yeah, I imagine it is. Justin, be sure to bring a coin to pay the ferryman. Yeah, you got to pay your dues on this journey, I imagine, for sure. Okay, so Simon, did you get through all the symbols that you wanted to get through? I haven't seen any in a while, I don't think, but let me know. Are we getting about ready to look at some alternative decks and answer some questions? Oh my gosh. Is this like the most vocal TK has ever been? Like ever? And also, am I still going? Because chat just got quiet, but maybe you're waiting for me. Oh, Elizabeth says, there is a time of transition and change is often difficult to make it to the other side. However, you will feel great relief thinking of what you have left behind. Okay, thank you, Simon. Donna says the swords are arranged in the front of the boat like a barrier. Whatever issues they represent are still in the forefront of our mind. Okay, thinking. I thought that made sense. I thought maybe you were doing like a play on words because it was a boat. Oh, hey, Ishi. If he is a ferryman, there would likely be payment via a coin. Then there'd be all the elements and a clear exchange. 6 is an exchange of energies. Yes. Elle had said, I'm just pulling up the other one just for fun here. Potential savior rescuer complex. You need my help. You're not okay, but I'm nice and I will fix you. I mean, really, codependency, go to therapy, right? Those two are very related concept with these cards, I think. Victimizing and coddling people, boat driver doing the journey, sheltering the people in it. Thank you, Elle, for kind of expanding on that for me. Sinking did sound good too. All right, let's see what else we've got today. I think I have a fun collection of alternative decks, a couple that are new to my collection that I haven't shown at all before. The first one being, and I don't think he's here today, but the Zany Tarot created by Zane Hughes Tarot, Toques, and Witchery. So I recently picked up his deck on Make Playing Cards. So let's take a look at his. Wouldn't it be great if he had been here today to talk to us about this card? But I think we can do this. All right, he has the swords at the back here. I haven't even had a chance to look through it yet. It's so new to my collection. Knight. Oh, the courts are all together. Okay, that's confusing me. Let me find Let me find the swords. Oh, there we go. Oh, the numbers are all together. Okay. I'm figuring this out. 6 of Swords. Oh, okay, Elle. I see more about this literal death in this particular version. Hey, Melanie, Oak Mama, nice to see you. All right, so here is our 6 of Swords in the Zany Tarot. Tell me what you think. R.I.P. Now, I'm going to think about this as RIP, all those bad limiting beliefs that are preventing me from moving forward. That's how I choose to see this card. But what do you guys think? I like the idea that it's like, yeah, it's like maybe they've had to say goodbye to something too, right? And are walking towards the sunshine and beauty and moving forward. Becca says, love it. I'm going to get you guys caught up with me here because I know I've been showing this for probably not 5 seconds for you all. I think TK finally put himself to bed. No thoughts? There it comes. All right. Corvin says, yes, moving on and leaving a bad situation behind. Oh, there it goes. Sometimes the chat is just really funny. Gigi says, the Zany is just fantastic. Elle says, that reminds me of the Deviant Moon 4 of Swords, the underground bit. Taking what you've learned in stillness and using that to propel you forward. Oh, the Deviant Moon 4 of Swords, not 6 of Swords. I had to focus on that a little bit better. She says, don't know if it's been said, but depending on how deep those swords have wounded us, when removed, the boat may sink. Yeah, Chris, Elemental Cartomancy actually said that, and I thought that was a very cool thing to be thinking about. Kristen says, rest in power. Empower yourself and those you love to move on from what no longer serves you. Donna says the swords are behind them rather than in front of them. That's a very good observation, right? So we have a different placement of the swords. And does that kind of bring a different energy to it then? Jonathan says, that's what I was going to say. Your bad thoughts are being left behind. They're moving beyond the problem. Did I miss what Elle said? No, I'm sure I saw what Elle said. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did. Is she edged your Zany Tarot in metallic green? Ooh, that sounds pretty. Butterfly Moore. Hi, Butterfly Moore. All dead and buried and moving on to sunny days. Yeah, it's like, finally, put that shit to rest, which sometimes really needs to be done. Like, we tend to revisit old problems, old wounds. And sometimes we do it because we're truly trying to heal and move forward. Sometimes we get caught in old patterns, old beliefs that really are not propelling us forward. So sometimes, yeah, we need to take lessons forward. And sometimes we have to say, okay, this is done. Like, there's no more to do here. I need to put this to rest and move forward and not revisit that anymore. And I think that can be an important part of the journey, and also one of the more difficult ones to do. Anne says, no ferryman here, but they seem strong enough to make their worries behind the move for... I think I got lost in there. Let me know if you fix it, Anne, or I'll watch for it. Let's see here. It jumped, and I'm going to keep that highlighted forever. Emily, it makes me think of ancestral trauma as well and working through healing ancestral lines. Ooh, that's an interesting take on that. Oh, but like in the 10 of Swords, you have to nurture the inner child. Good one. Yeah. Donna says, no savior figure in this one, just the woman and child moving forward on their own. Simon's really proud because Elle referenced the Deviant Moon. It's pretty much what that pride is about, isn't it, Simon? Deciding happiness, if only. I think I like where you're going with that, with deciding happiness. The if only almost makes it sound like it feels like it's out of reach, though. White Tree Tarot, it's nice, and probably it's just me, but it seems a bit over-optimistic, like they're not letting themselves grieve. That could happen as well. Sometimes it's like, okay, I'm just going to turn my back on that. I don't want to face those feelings. I don't want to think about it, and I'm just going to move forward. Sometimes that's healthy. If you're looking at this in a more shadowy aspect, I can totally see how that might not be healthy. Neem says, for some reason, Six of Swords in a story is the card that comes after Five of Cups if you make that push forward. Yeah, I can totally see that. You know, if we think about the Five of Cups as kind of the card of grief, and then moving forward from that makes a lot of sense. Kristen says, I see this version. Come back, Kristen. Okay. I see this version as having less room for different interpretation and as much about leaving behind something negative. Anne says, no ferryman able to leave their troubles on the shore to be washed away. Thank you, Anne. Thanks for bringing that back for me. Let's see here. This card from Elizabeth is more clear to me. Leave the old behind and looking forward with your future, the child holding hands. Queen Osset Hiru, hello, by the way, loves the card. Jonathan, I see this as an indication of a need to transit, change, and move beyond the problem. Chris says, beautiful. She's guiding the kid away from the pain and into the positivity of the new sunrise. Kid's moving on because mom is guiding him. She is moving on because she has to for him. Oh, I like that too. I like that interplay in the relationship between the two of them. Barbara says, very hard to move forward from long-held beliefs. Take baby steps. Oh, boy, is it ever. That is such hard work. She notes that there are mountains still in front of them. So maybe that kind of takes the place of the swords. Don't mountains represent struggles? At least obstacles. You know it, Jen. Yeah, I know you love that deviant moon. Donna moving toward that sunny horizon. Okay, lots of agreement with with what people are saying. Hi, Naomi. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen you in Playdate, and that's not a call out. That's just an appreciation to see you here. Nice to see you. Nice to do so. I've had trouble with words all day. Ask everybody. Anne says, oh dear, being a bit skeptical. Looks like she's okay, happy in leaving her husband or partner behind. How do you know that's her husband or partner? You know, maybe perhaps... Okay, I can't discount what you're intuiting there, so I can see where you would see that. Also, though, maybe in some cases, perhaps the person who has passed is more at peace now, and there's no more pain. You know, a lot of people, I think, sometimes look at death in that way. Like sometimes that could be a bit of a relief, even though it's sad and even though we don't want to lose our loved ones, knowing that they are not going through or experiencing the difficulties that maybe they were in this life. I don't know. I'm like, it got me thinking. But not to be like overly toxically positive about it. Let's see here. Interesting that they're not carrying any baggage. True. Okay. Oh, we are diving into this. I want to get to the question here pretty soon. And then Elle said, so with the Six of Cups, it's perhaps an older sibling and child passing on guidance, comradeship, and nostalgia and stuff. With the Swords, it's wisdom and experience being passed from adult to child. Yeah. Oh, that's a good observation. Justin said, very true. It's like the loss is still there, but we learn to live with it. I'm not sure what the very true was, but yes, the loss is still there, but we learn to live with it. We accept it, and we recognize that that's a part of life, right? All right, so our first question that we're going to answer with this card is actually, oh, this is interesting. Simon's question, which is, how do we learn to dance in the April showers when the rain clouds come? So how would we answer Simon's question with this card? And then while you're thinking about that, Emily had said, thinking along the lines of trauma, and if that was a mom and her child, they are walking away from a father figure in their lives. Perhaps that person may have been a harmful person in their lives. That's interesting. And of course, that's assuming a kind of a heteronormative family dynamic, but I totally get what you're saying. Oh, you were agreeing with me, Justin. Okay. That's good to know. Thanks. Thanks for clarifying that for me. Actually, I appreciate that. Usually there's so much chatter going on in the chat. I figure most people are just like, chattering and are like, well, Jen's just back here. Let's see. Neem said, clearly splash around in the water. Like, who doesn't love rain, Simon? It's the best weather ever. Do you live somewhere where there's a lot of rain, Neem? Chris says, can I just say as well that I love that we see a strong female as the guiding force here? Not that it should be about gender, but it shits all over the patriarchal idea of the man being the solver. Yeah, Chris, you say it. Oak Mama says, sometimes we have to leave behind those ideas that were holding us back. Long-haired, skinny-eyed toe. Hello, hello. Kristen says, except at night, I hate rain. Oh, I love rain at night. I love listening to it on the sound of it on the windows. Elle says, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain for all the quote lovers. And it's one of my favorites because it has the word dance in it. But I think that's right. It's recognizing that when the clouds come, the things that are sad or the things that are troubling or the things that bring us down, maybe that moment has to happen for us to learn, for us to grow. Without the rain, we know the thing about the flowers and the trees and nature, right? Nothing would grow without rain. So being able to appreciate what that's going to bring and or just rebelling against it. The idea of running around and splashing in puddles and making something that makes us feel down and dreary and turning that in, consciously choosing to flip the script on that and turn that into something positive for us, then you find it difficult to feel that sadness. I can just imagine like putting in my friend, actually, my one of my chosen family sisters, she was telling me a story about how she went to the beach really, really early one morning, and there was a woman that had her AirPods in, and her music was clearly blasting, and she was dancing out there, could not care who saw her. And my sister, she goes, I couldn't stop watching her. I just felt so much joy watching her. So not only was she not caring and just dancing with abandon and bringing joy to herself, she was bringing joy to people around her, but not actually caring about who else was watching. I don't know. It was just a very cool story. All right, let me see what you guys are all saying up here. And let's see. Simon, look for the silver lining, says Anne. Queen Osset said, this card reminds me of when I got divorced. It was difficult, but my daughter and I moved on to happier times. Jonathan, dance in the April showers so your inner May flowers are nurtured and can bloom fully. Hey, Nancy. Let's see. As I said above, the grave being for the swords, thoughts, or mental concepts as opposed to a person, figure, or problem, maybe leave behind our mental concepts about the rain. Yeah, I'm just kind of associating it with something negative. Do we do that often? Can we look at that as something that's positive? Okay. Dan says, rain is so calming and refreshing to me. Kristen said, step away from what is weighing you down. Take a moment to self-soothe or distract yourself. Oh, I like that too. Donna says, we need to leave behind our negative associations about the rain and focus on how the rain nurtures that lovely green field we'd love to stroll through. Get wet feet, says Sika. Neem says, when I was preggers with my second son, my first son born and I jumped in puddles while everyone was sheltering from the rain. They didn't know what they were missing. I love that. Love that so much. Ishi says, dance reminds me of a physio's advice to dance with the pain, to pace ourselves and work around the obstacles and mental boundaries. Whereas we may not be able to lay them down, rest or work with them. Kind of embracing the swords in a way. Elizabeth said, read in Rachel Pollack's book, The Swords, do they symbolize the pain that people carry with them? Sad memories? Waite notes that they don't seem to weigh too much, but the writer in the front more something. D9, this is the Zany Tarot that Zane of Tarot Toke and Witchery in our community created and put on make playing cards. Go shopping for a new swimsuit. Simon says, what am I missing? LOL, silver lining, this too shall pass. I'm sat here racking my brain. I think it means, Simon, I don't know if this helps, but if we can find a way to have fun when the rain clouds come. Like find a way to lighten that up. So when you ask the question about rain clouds, is that something that feels like heavy and potentially somewhat negative leaning to you? And can we turn that into something where if we can have fun in spite of the rain, then that lifts everything up, I guess is where maybe we're all trying to go with that. Elizabeth said, prominent that the people themselves don't see this in this card, though. Oh, true. Kristen says, remember the only thing that stays the same is change. Look behind the mountains in front of you to see the sun beyond it. The rain washing away the stress. Yes, Jessica. Sometimes too, just standing in the rain and like letting it wash over you, like in the shower, right? Can you sometimes feel that release that happens when you do that? The 5 Rhythms by Gabrielle Roth. Has anyone ever practiced this? Very much about moving through energies and expressing emotion through dance. We have people who love jumping in the puddles. The sun comes after the rain, so let the April showers come. Dance in it. When the sun comes, bask in it. Simon says, okay, I can go with that. Emily, not that specific practice, but lots of other dance movement therapists. And the other thing is maybe let somebody show you how to dance, right? So if you're feeling like you can't get yourself out of that place or get into that place of movement and dance, find someone who will teach you. You know, not everybody knows how to dance, figuratively speaking, right? So if you know somebody who does, you know, say, hey, can you show me how to do that? Can you show me how to do that? You know, that waltz or that rumba or whatever it is you want to do, right? All right, my friend, we got to get moving on to the next card because we are all having a lot of fun with this one. Oh, there's still so many more answers. Dress properly for the rain so you can enjoy it without getting soaked. I love that. Oh, that now talk about looking at the bright side of something. So Gigi says, I have a story. My friend's foot was just amputated and he's a hospital clown. He's very happy that he got rid of his sick foot and can now get a prosthetic and clown and dance with it again. So that's kind of about that, like the leaving the pain part behind, right? And being able to embrace what he can now do. That's lovely. Writing that down. What are you writing down now? He wears a plush shark over his stump. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay. And then Patrice had said, you can't enjoy dancing in the rain until you drop your thoughts of disappointment and resistance. Leave pain and sorrow behind and journey to our inner being. Oh, we have got thoughts on this question, Simon, clearly. All right. Let's look at our next deck. Now, this one is one that my daughter just sent me because she thought I might like it and wasn't playing with it enough. And that is the Stunning Tarot by Janessa Joust. I have not looked at this a ton yet. It's got a very interesting look to it, though. So I'm intrigued by it. I think the swords are in the back. Oh, no, here they are. Okay, I have no idea what to think of this card. There is no guidebook, so maybe we won't spend as much time on this card. And this is how we'll make up our time. Here, let me get back to the comments. Here's the backs of this one, by the way. I think this is the first edition. Is that right, Elle? Let's see here. So we have 6 of Swords. So we have these swords in the air. And this, what looks to be a pregnant mermaid. Help me. Help me, please. Okay, Corvin says, I love this stunning tarot. It's so gorgeous. Let's see. Kristen was answering Simon's question from before while we think about this card. Stop caring what others think. Put on your giant orange pantaloon and go swimming. I love that. All right. Let's see. I'm being challenged here with this card. Emily says, wow, that's beautiful. Donna's with me. Like, okay. I don't think she's a mermaid. She has a horsetail. Wait. But, okay, there's a starfish. Maybe she's a mix of 3 things. Human, mermaid, horse. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with this. Oh no. Okay. Help me. So Elle was also answering Simon's question, dressing properly for the rain. They reminded me of self-care, making sure you're ready for a storm, you're well equipped. Well, she's equipped for everything. I'm just saying, like everything. Not having the right shoes, a falling apart coat can make everything harder. Elizabeth, a pregnant one? I don't know. I don't know, Elizabeth. Um Okay, I'm really sorry for whoever's question this is. Maybe it'll all come clear. Okay, Deanne, maybe the unborn baby is the focus, about to go through a transition to a world with more potential. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me back, Deanne, because I was about to go off the ledge with this one. Let's see. She can easily move. Yeah, it would be nice if there was a book, Oak Mama, but there is no such book. Let's see. Okay, this is going to be helpful as well. White Tree Tarot says Janessa Joust goes with Jodorowsky's system. Keywords for Six of Swords in her previous deck are fertility, success after anxiety, mental positivity, and strength, which truthfully, to become a parent requires a lot of mental positivity and strength, and it comes with anxiety. But a lot of that anxiety happens before the baby is even born, and once the child comes into the world, then you're just dealing with all of that. So okay, I can see some things here. Thank you. Emily says the mermaid could perhaps be a nod to the water the boat travels on. All right, we have some people are like, this is a stretch, but I think we're starting to get some stuff here. Jessica says she came through the water from the RWS to the other side. Like she just swam for it, this one, didn't she? Nobody helped this one though, right? But she is also caring for the child. So the child, rather being in the boat, is in their belly. Kristen says she is a shapeshifter, changing shapes, ways of moving through the world. Empower yourself to birth forth your new self. Okay. I'm loving this a little more now. Butterfly Morris says she looks like she's tempting you to possibilities. Becca, like the Little Mermaid, so she could be with her human lover. Donna says the swords are arranged asymmetrically, right? So they're not balanced. We have 4 over here, 2 over here, different heights. Emily says, yes, it's a journey to go from being pregnant to being ready to be a parent. Absolutely. Okay. Glad to help. Yeah, we did need some help on this one. All right. We ran long on the last one. So I'm going to jump straight to our question. Which is from Elle. What do we need to embrace so we are able to most authentically express ourselves this week? Oh my gosh. Okay. Is this card not perfect for that question? Like, in order to authentically express ourselves, we need to allow ourselves to bring forth into the world what it is that we truly want to share of ourselves. And like the phrase that comes to mind is to birth into the world our creative, authentic expression. So I feel like we need to embrace the fact that we have this thing, right? Whatever it is, there's something that we want to birth into the world. We need to nurture that and bring that forward. I mean, it's a little abstract, but I think it works. All right, let's see what you guys are thinking as I was pontificating there. Elle says protection. This is a world, not a womb. We can't always be nurtured. The baby hasn't experienced life because it's suspended in protection and darkness. Truly living is moving forward in light. Now, I don't think that was an answer to your question, right, Elle? It was just sort of the interpretation of the card. But very cool. Chris says, mermaids are traditionally very self-centered creatures. Don't tell Zane I said this. The mermaid is going through a major transformation. Her whole world is about to change. Well, I mean, at least this isn't Zane's card. So there you have it. Beth says, the Six of Swords, one of my deal breaker minors. Hi, Albeth. So would this be a deal breaker or a deal maker for you, this particular version? Emily says, we need to embrace those things we are yet to something. Or just that we are yet to embrace. Okay, I get it. Donna says, in Spanish, to give birth is literally to give to the light. Okay, that's very cool. That's very cool. Oklahoma says, we need to embrace the anxiety we may be feeling without letting it overwhelm us, but let it inspire our creative life. Okay, that's great too. Robin, oh, hey, Robin. Embrace your natural self. Don't cut off your tail in exchange for legs. That never ends well. Yeah, okay, fair enough, right? Like, to authentically express ourselves, we need to accept who we are as we are. All right, I like that. Kristen, don't be afraid to embrace your many selves. Do not be ashamed of all your faces, curves, creations, and uniqueness. Yes, yes, yes. Elle says, the fact that this has a pregnant person on this card and my question is sneakily around that, that's amazing. Okay, that's cool, Elle. That actually gave me a little goosebumps. Jessica says, embrace and expect the unexpected. Emily says, we need to embrace the things we are yet to bring into manifestation, the things we are fearful of, anxious about, don't feel ready for, embracing the lessons. See, this is me embracing this card. It scared the crap out of me when I first pulled it out, but you guys have helped me to embrace what it is authentically expressing. So thank you. You guys were my guides in this one. Elle says, oh, sorry, no, I accidentally pressed go before I'd finished writing. I've had that happen to me so many times. Jonathan says you will need to intellectualize, but also humanize the issues presented to you. Embrace things as they are, including ourselves. Oh, yeah. Emily says, except that anything that is worth having takes time to come to full fruition. Oh, so true. So true. Beth says, I like that card. It definitely embodies change and moving into a different reality. Patrice says, we have to go through the pain of birthing to come into our full expression. Emily says, enjoy and embrace the journey because that's where the magic is. It's definitely not always the destination, but the journey. Hi, Chantal. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Okay, and this may have jumped, but if I've skipped you, please don't take offense. I'm just trying to be efficient. And then Chris says, we learn more about ourselves every time we face a new scenario, how we interact with or react to it. We need to embrace change and push outside our comfort zones to learn more about our authentic self. So true. And that is, again, something that's been really top of mind for me, is really pushing my boundaries of comfort to explore new and different things. Every time something sort of piques my curiosity, rather than letting that float by, I'm trying to grab it, right? I'm grabbing it, at least write it down so I don't forget that I had that thought or that curiosity. Okay. Please tell me that Jackie didn't ask you if you're pregnant, Elle. I'm not even going to scroll up because I don't. Gosh, no. All right, Justin, be your authentic self. Practice what you preach. It's how you behave when no one is watching that defines your true nature, not what you put on social media. Oh, preach, Justin. Hell yeah. Donna says, take time to fully develop our ideas before bringing them into the light. Yes, yes, yes. And then Neem says, whether you choose to focus on something that is happening or choose not to focus on, it's still happening. Will you deal with it or ignore it until it continues to culminate? Okay, you guys are so awesome. Okay, that was amazing. I thought that was going to be a super challenging card, but talk about the playdaters going, oh, hold on. Hold our beer. We got this. All right, my friends. The next one is one that, it's a classic. It's been in my collection for ages. I think this is a favorite of Emily's, the Moonchild Tarot. And let's see. So this is a kind of a collage style deck. So we'll see what y'all think about this one. This could be potentially challenging, but at least it has a book. Although we didn't need no dang book this last time. Okay, let's get. Oh, this one is not. Oh no, it's shuffled. Oh, sorry. Talk amongst yourself. Talk about how awesome Playdate is, how knowledgeable and insightful all of you amazing people are. Anybody experiencing any kind of Six of Swords moments right now? Okay, I threw out some ideas. I'm trying to not. Okay. All right. There's Seven of Swords, King of Swords. I am so sorry. I totally thought I checked out my decks last night. Six of Swords. Okay. I was on like a third of the way through the deck, so that was not terrible. Okay. Okay. All right. Good time to hit the thumbs up. Yeah. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, that really was. There was a lot of wisdom in that particular card. All right. Here is for anybody who hasn't seen the Moonchild Tarot, but here is our Six of Swords. I love that we have like Stonehenge or a stone circle behind her. She's kind of wielding this sword. This one can be challenging as well. What do you think? Lisa, no. What does the no mean? Oh, no. All right, just in case anybody needs a little help with this one, I'll get the book out here. 4, 5, 6. Let's see. I want to find. Oh, I love this. We have a description of the artwork. That's all I'm going to read to you here. So a seeker wields a sword above her head, sourcing power from the cosmos. The standing stones and shifting waters behind her indicate a sacred journey of awakening. 4 suspended swords point towards her rational mind, while her veiled face indicates a lingering sadness. Here she connects with her own inner strength, emboldened by the sword of her heart. Okay, that's really cool. Excuse me for just a moment. I need to get out of the camera. There. Okay, thank you. I had to just wipe my nose. So the sixth sword is on her chest. One's on her dress. Was everybody missing a sword there for a moment? Emily said perhaps reintegration after shadow work. Let's see. We had folks looking for the sixth sword. There we go. The quickening has happened. I don't know what that means. Let's scroll down here. Yeah, that sixth one was a little tricky, wasn't it? Jessica says she is showing her power. Close up again. Okay, here we go. I had it a sec. Oops, let me hide that for a sec there. So here's the close up again. So here we have. Let's get some focus. There we go. So there we have that sixth sword there on her dress over what the book says is her heart. We have these 4 swords kind of pointing towards her head. I just really see this as kind of like a moment of like breaking through. Those 4 swords that are kind of pointing down, the thoughts that are penetrating, perhaps overwhelming. There's this moment of clarity that's happening that's kind of balanced with the sword that's on her heart, right? Donna says she can swat those annoying negative thoughts away. Yeah, she just needs to swing her sword around a little bit. Highlander? I'm not sure what you mean, Donna. The black veil brings back the grief idea. Yes. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better in the light. Oh, the quickening happens when the fetal tissues come to life. Oh, interesting. Emily says, yes, it feels like a moment of truth or actualization. And then Lisa says, oh, but this gives me another point of view. Oh, I want you to see the little fun, pretty swirlies there. Oh, the quickening from Highlander. Oh, I see. Trees, yes, what Jen said. White Tree Tarot. Her pose reminds me of a priestess who is preparing to make a sacrifice. Ooh, that sounds kind of interesting. Different way to look at it. So what does she need to sacrifice in order to make her magic or in order to move forward? Sometimes we do have to sacrifice things. All right. I feel free to bring general meanings, but I'm going to go ahead and bring our question forward too from Jonathan, which is how can we balance rest with action in a healthy way? Ooh, that's tricky. So Jonathan was saying before I posted the question, I see her embracing her thoughts, both the good tools and the painful blades. Oh, I like how you're looking at that. Hi, Lucy. Beth said she's moving away from the negative thoughts metaphorically. Yeah. Kristen, you have an intellectual strength that is ancient in origin. You are in tune enough to align yourself to the celestial bodies like a stone circle. Okay, that's deep. I like that. Jessica, the different swords make me think of the different challenges she has gone through, and the bigger sword she's holding shows her cutting through those challenges. Yeah, and it seems to have more power just in kind of size and scale than the other four, right? So Robin says, is that a sacrificial altar? I'm not sure. So Oak Mama says she embodies one sword, wields a second. Is she warding off the four others? Yeah, I think potentially she totally could be. Oak Mama says, this is a great card for this question. So how can we balance rest with action in a healthy way? So I think there's this kind of element of spirituality that we have with the stone circle, right? And then we have the intellectual that's happening. And then we have kind of the emotional connection to the challenges. So how we can balance rest with action as I'm talking through that is maybe understand that there's an element that we can control, but there's also perhaps an element that we cannot. So in the pieces that we cannot control, right? Because that's kind of whatever is happening outside of that in the greater universe, whatever other outside influences you think may play a part, that's where we have to release that control, and therefore we have some rest. But there's still an aspect that we can control where we can take action. So we have to, I think, be really open to being able to look at that objectively and understand what our circle of influence is. All right, those are my rambling thoughts there. All right, let's see what y'all are bringing, because there are quite a few things I haven't clicked on yet. Let's see here. Justin says, I see this as karma. Stab a sword up in the air for come back down on you. Oh, yeah, got to be careful there with that sword. This image is more balanced in layout, Jackie is noticing. Emily says, in answer to the question, I think if we're able to be mindful about our actions when we are active, we can be more present daily and healthy, body, mind, and spirit, and able to rest meditatively more. Okay, I think I get where you're going with that. In other words, if we're incorporating all of those things, then that will leave more room for rest. Am I sort of hearing that correctly? Chris says, I love that all the swords are different. They're all different problems and lessons she's faced, and she's using them to conjure up her power and be a total boss. Elle says 6 in numerology is the literal number of balance and harmony. How fitting. Neem says divide and separate, plan and organize. She seems in control of how to handle it. May not have a solution to it all, but will handle some at a time. Ooh, yeah. Barbara says balance, rest, and action by narrowing your focus. Okay, Jonathan's really liking what Justin had to say. I'm coming back because the chat jumped again there. Kristen says, slicing through the 4 of swords. Don't rest too much. Cut it into pairs of 2. Make the choice that best serves you in the moment. So kind of breaking it down into bite-sized, easier to tackle pieces. Emily says, bringing meaning and intention to everything we do, as well as being grounded and centered so that we are aligned as we go about our lives. Yes. Donna says the sword she controls is bigger than the others. Yep. Deanne says, nice one, Kristen. I was thinking about 4 of swords being in the same direction. So that made me think of traditional 4 of swords. And then Robin says, consider the sacrifices you're about to make and whether the goal is worth the risk. Yeah, evaluate. Pamela says she looks poised for action, but is dwelling before it. So it's taking that time to reflect on what you're about to take action on, to assess, okay, is this the right course of action? Think before doing. Don't just fling that sword around, maybe like the Knight of Swords would, right? Let's see. Emily says, yes, absolutely. A balance of action and rest with acknowledgement that at times we can't always control everything and we might swing one way or the other, but overall we can remain mostly balanced. Jessica says, center yourself and thoughts in order to rest fully, but remember that there are still things that need to get done or things hanging over your head. Ooh, Spirit Healing Tarot says, stand up for yourself. Chris says she's in mourning because of the veil, right? While performing a ritual. She's resting her emotional self while acting with her physical self. Maybe later she will rest physically, but process things mentally and emotionally. Wow, my voice is getting hoarse from reading out all of those amazing, insightful answers. Hopefully, Jonathan, it sounds like you were pretty pleased with at least one of the answers you were getting there. So that is cool. All right, let's move on to deck number 4. Also a new one in my collection. This was supposed to be a surprise that I was going to show in my March deck haul that will be upcoming, but I figured it came up in the Playdate draw, so I'd go ahead and pull it. Jonathan says, I love all of these answers. And Emily said, doing what we can to be focused on one thing at a time rather than multitasking. And then Neem said, when we are children, we want to grow up so we can have flexibility. Then we get older and need to find structure, set a schedule. Yeah, we think adults have it so easy when we're young. And then later we're like, oh. And we thought adults had it all together. And then we realized they didn't. And then Patrice said, we have to cut through our thoughts and expectations. Wait, what did I do with my card? Come back. What did I do with the card? There it is. And allow ourselves to go within and find the place of rest. The sword is, the sword she wields and the one she wears align her, thought and stillness. Yes. Okay. All right. So now I have a fun one. The Bohemian Gothic. Like a surprise, you say? I have the Bohemian Gothic Tarot by Baba Studio that I managed to, well, I didn't manage to find it. Elle managed to find it for me. I keep saying I found it. And she's like, who found it? I'm like, yeah, you found it. And it's in like supreme condition, and it had the book, which made me very excited. For those who have this deck and don't have the book, Baba Studios has been putting out a call to ask if people are actually interested in a reprint of the book. So, okay, this is a really cool image. I got it, Beth. I'm so excited. I've been on the hunt for this one for a while, which was really dumb because I had a chance to get it so many times. All right, so we need to take a nice close-up look. So here we have this person rowing, this person laying in the boat. We see this beautiful reflection. We have this kind of rocky shore. But I love this sort of like, we can see like the sunset or sunrise reflecting on the water. We have these mountains in the distance, but we have a passageway. Oh, this is gorgeous. I'm loving this card right now. I'm dying to get this deck. Yes, Elle and Brett have magical deck finding powers. Don't they, Corbin? They really do. Justin says, this is the only Baba deck not on my list. I sold a vintage copy of the book. It's funny because I really just wasn't thinking that I needed it. But then I got like all the others. I'm like, now I need it. Like I need my Baba collection to be complete. And now that I have it, I'm not one bit sorry. I am a little sorry that I had to pay more for it because I couldn't make up my Libra analysis addled mind. But yeah, this is an amazing Six of Swords. Elle says, magic. Justin says, maybe this should be on my list. She's going to the land of the dead. That's interesting. So is she being rowed across? So I do actually have the book here. So let's see. Oh, let me keep that in frame for you. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm running so late today. I still have one more deck. No, okay, we can do this. That's a story. The Six of Swords. Oh gosh, I can't do all the things at once. This is a scene that looks almost Arthurian at first sight, as a barge travels across a vast lake at sunset. However, this is not a king being taken to his burial ground by attendants. Rather, it's a beautiful woman who lies in state in the boat, ferried by a single dark, cowled figure. The lake is glossy smooth, and the whole scene is reflected as if in a mirror. But the flames of the two large candles burning in front of the bier are blown to one side, suggesting that the boat is traveling swiftly. Is this woman dead or only sleeping? There's no way of being sure. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. There's been a lot of talking today. All right, what do you guys think? And then we'll have to get to answering this question pretty quickly. Lady of Shalott, says Kim. Ooh, This is actually the Bohemian Gothic deck, Kristen. Definitely a transition. It's very funeral looking. Ooh, perhaps the river Styx. Yes, the passage to the other world. I hadn't heard the talk of them reprinting the deck yet, just the book, Patrice. But if they talk about reprinting the deck and I paid all this for it, you know what? Nope, no regrets. I don't live my life like that. It's totally fine. And this is beautiful, and I'm glad to have it. Elle said, ooh, isn't it Viking tradition that the king leader, I need to brush up, that the body would be pushed out to sea on the boat with their possessions, including wife, and burned? Oh, okay. I smart a little at the idea of the wife being a possession, but I get what you're saying. She's going to that Arthurian island. Sandra, where are you? What's it called? Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen Sandra today. I should have noticed that. Patrice says, I just saw that this week. Ooh, interesting. Well, I supported them. I supported it. Avalon? My reaction to that. It's okay. I'm fine, Emily. I'm fine. All right, let's get our fourth question in here from Patrice. Speaking of Patrice, how can we be the change we want to see in the world? How would you answer that question with this card? How can we be the change we want to see in the world? Yes, everyone. Avalon, Avalon, Avalon. Oh, I could have figured. I guess I knew that too. Justin, we got the answer for you, Justin. So how can we be the change we want to see in the world with this particular card? And right away, kind of the reaction that we're all having to this card is it's beautiful, right? It's a beautiful card. And maybe I shouldn't speak for everyone, but it's a beautiful card, even if it's a potentially a sad moment, right? If somebody really has passed and is being moved to the other world or to beyond, but we're able to see the beauty in that moment. If we can find the beauty in change and transition, then that allows us to accept it and move through it in a way that kind of, I think, promotes peace and accepting and understanding, and just allows us to help others see the beauty in that as well, is I think where I'm going with that. But I'd love to know how you all would answer this question. Okama says, the flickering flame contrasting the still water is uncanny. Yeah, agreed. It's so beautiful, though. Lisa says, letting her emotions, not taking actions, and feelings of being stuck in her mind. Yes, sad. Jonathan says, be willing to change who you are to stand as an example for others. Change who you are to stand as an example for others. I have to think about that. I have to think about the changing who you are bit. Now, if there's something that needs to be changed and you allow yourself to grow and accept that not everything we do as our authentic selves is maybe for the best good for us or others, yes. But also, I think a lot of us have to accept that maybe by being who we are, we can show others that it's okay to authentically embrace and love who they are as well. So I'm not trying to be like contrary or combative. It just got me thinking more on that. Thank you, Melanie, for understanding what I was trying to say there. Barbara says, the death of old unswerving ideas gives us rest and protection. Oh, yeah. Emily says, seeing our reflections clearly when we allow ourselves to speak with our shadows and transmute any unhealthy behaviors so we can be more healthy and loving to ourselves and others in our relationship. Yeah, so that would be like the positive kind of change that I was sort of thinking about from what Jonathan had said. It has a Rorschach vibe for me. Is the art? Is it? I wonder. Beth says, Rorschach, is that the same artist? Oh gosh, I'm going to sound like an idiot if I say anymore, so I'm just going to be quiet. I am not going to allow my authentic lack of knowledge show at this moment. Beth, we must really take an honest, hard look at our thoughts and actions to make a transformation in ourselves and ultimately in the world. Barbara said unserving. Was that like clarifying something? Oh, the death of old unswerving. Oh, unserving. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Emily said, to be kind to those shadows and reintegrate. Donna says, this card feels much more stagnant than the traditional RWS. Yeah, it really looks so calm. And the only clue that maybe the boat is moving swiftly is that the candles, if they would focus, we can see that the flames over here are kind of like bending as if the boat is moving, but it's harder to see, which I think is interesting. Neem says, you are a reflection of the world you are in, as the reflection is in the water. What world do you want to see? Reflect to that world. Oklahoma says, I feel like the boat is sailing over the waters of emotion. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I totally get that. Sorry, I actually was like thinking about what Naomi was saying to Simon, like with the Rorschach vibes with the mountains, question mark. So I was reading and talking at the same time. Donna says, so we really need to push forward through this stagnant place to the place of change. Ink blot, Jen. What, Barbara? Oh, Rorschach. Oh, the ink blot. Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it. Like with the reflection. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I was really off on a different tangent in my brain. Thank you, Barbara. You set me straight. Less emotion of reaction. Oh. White Tree Tarot says, in the guidebook, but I was leaning more towards changing ourselves away from self-sabotage towards healthy way of living. So I actually agree with you. Okay, cool. Jonathan says, I get it, Jen, but I was leaning more towards changing ourselves away from self-sabotage towards healthy way of living. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I'm with you. I just read that twice, but I read it with two different inflections and as if I thought they were from two different people. Okay, it's lunchtime soon here. Donna says, maybe the flames are being blown by the winds of change. Oh, yeah, I like that. Kristen says, if this is the Lady of Shalott, this is the phase after she escapes her tower. Be courageous enough to fight your chains in order to move toward liberation. Okay. Yes. Naomi said, I see two faces. That's why I asked. Oh, so you guys are seeing faces in the card. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Patrice says, we need to take what we've learned from the painful things and injustices we've been through and move forward to the other shore where we can take action. And Melanie says, cut through emotional and move to where we want to be. La petite mort. Oh, I was trying to go here. Yeah, the little death. That transition. Yes. Okay, one more card. So we'll move through this one kind of quick. This one is just kind of fun. Again, I haven't even really looked through this yet. I recently picked it up in a local shop. I had it on my Amazon wish list. And when I saw it in the local shop, and it probably would have sat there, honestly, for a little bit. But then I need to support the local shop that puts tarot decks and oracle decks. I'm like, yes, please keep stocking oracle decks. So I have the Witchling Academy Tarot, which is just a cute and fun deck by Pamela Chen, illustrated by Mindy Zhang, another one that I was going to show in my new March decks. This comes in kind of a funky package, not my favorite, but we got the deck out here. Let's see what our Six of Swords looks like. So obviously the whole premise of this deck is that everything is kind of occurring in this cute little Witchling Academy. But it looks like this version is not going to take us too far, of course. These are the backs, by the way. And we have very much a kind of traditional looking image here happening. Although with kind of a major change in that we have a little fur baby here with us instead of another little human. And oh wait. Is there like is that like a bird? I don't know if it's going to focus for me. There we go. It's like a little bird riding on her head. So it's kind of like she's being ferried across, but the bird's taking a ride. And then we have our little kitty friend. This is TK trying to come along for the ride. Yeah, I saw you have the chat. You had the interview with Pamela, right, Jonathan? I really actually enjoyed hearing all of her thoughts about this deck. All right, so I'm not sure. Does this bring kind of any new major thoughts? Maybe I think kind of a double layer of assistance is perhaps happening in this card. Tweety's little cousin is on her head. Yes, Neem. Yeah, Chris says, looks like they're moving towards the tower. No. Don't go that way. Yeah, trouble's up ahead, folks. Now, we still see kind of in the corner, we have a bit more turbulent water, and then actually, I was going to say, and then we see calm water, but I am not telling the truth because that water does not look calm at all. So maybe here they're swimming a bit against the current, perhaps. Okay. I knew she was the main character. So her familiar is a parakeet. Okay. Jonathan knows about this story pretty well. So thank you. Yeah, she based it on Harry Potter. I knew that. Which I think is really fun. That's honestly why I wanted this deck. I love the whole concept of sort of like an academy, a school where you can go to learn all the fun magic things. I really want to go there. I don't care how old I am. Emily says, definitely has associations, but I don't speak French. Oh, with the Le Petit Mort. So not sure if it actually is the translation, but from a literary perspective, I know of it in that way. Were you talking about Le Petit Mort? Because that was the literal translation. I do know just a teeny tiny bit of French. Yeah, I totally watched that interview, Jonathan. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself. This is the Witchling Academy Tarot by Pamela Chen. Shanti. All right. And Beth, who was also asking. All right, let's get our last question here because we are running super long today. I don't know if Chris is even still here. I don't blame y'all if you bail on me. How do we best deal with difficult people tactfully? Perhaps by removing ourselves from the situation. The difficult people are behind me. That's one, I think, interpretation of this card. Or perhaps it's that we need to, rather than kind of beat them over the head with a blunt object with the point we're trying to make, metaphorically speaking, perhaps what we need to do is gently guide them in the direction when we're trying to convey something that's important. If it's not important, let's think about how hard we work on that, right? But if we need to work together, then gently steering them in the right direction might be a way to go. But let's see what you guys think here. Kristen says, go to Hogwarts and learn how to change people into ferrets. I mean, that's one way. Not the most balanced answer, I suppose. Let's see what else we have. Neem said, cat behind the bird. Oh, imminent danger, heading to a tower. Oh, goodness. I must be in a negative mindset. Or just a cautious and observant mindset, Neem. You're paying attention to your surroundings. Melanie says, balance and patient like the punter or the fairy person. How do we deal? Keep rowing. Yeah, just keep going. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. As Dory from... as Dory's intuitive tarot pops up here, but I was talking about Dory in Finding Nemo. Hey, Dory, missed the beginning and most of this live. Well, I'm running long today, so we have just a little bit more time left. Emily said, as in whether or not the Petit Mort is the literal translation. Oh, that one. I forgot about that one. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay. I get what you're saying. Okay, well, I just highlighted on screen for everybody to understand. Barbara said, yes, Jen, don't stand your ground so firmly. Make room for another perspective. Kristen says, protect your emotions in the tower. Use your intellect and not your emotions to communicate your needs and boundaries. That's true, too. Yeah, thanks, Ishi. I got it now. This is what I get very focused. It's funny. Like I lose a lot of like sort of nuance, I think, sometimes in Playdate because I'm so focused on the card and the meanings and the questions. It's good to pull me out of that from time to time. Donna says, take them for a boat ride where they might accidentally fall overboard. Okay, people, violence is not the answer. Jonathan, move beyond the problem. Removing someone from your life is allowed, just don't engage anymore. Yeah, exactly, right? It's when I say, yeah, leave it behind, sometimes we have to walk away from those people and recognize that they're taking too much of our time, and in this case, perhaps mental energy that is not productive or efficient and doesn't really propel us forward the way we need it to. And so only by leaving them behind can we move forward. Oak Mama says, the boat rides the rough waves so we can deal by being like the boat. And I'm laughing at Donna. I know you're kidding. And I'm laughing with you, I promise. I mean, I did laugh as I said violence is never the answer. So clearly there's that part of me that can kind of appreciate that. All right, really quickly, folks, really quickly. Give me 3 reversed meanings, shadow meanings of this card. By 3 meanings, I mean like 3 words. Let's do some quick reversals, or if you don't read reversals, when you see this card in a block position, in a challenge position, what do you think of? So we can help those who want to know how to read this card when it shows up in one of those places. I think right away, it's like that stagnant energy that we were kind of talking about when we saw the Bohemian Gothic version of this card. We're not moving forward. We're stuck in bad patterns. We're stuck in bad belief systems and thought patterns, right? Yes, Oakmama, carrying baggage. And Patrice had asked earlier, or are we leaving them behind, or our thoughts about them? Yes, running away, staying in a, oh, I'm doing these backwards. Running away, staying in a bad place. Don't run from your problems. Oh, you guys are good at this game. You guys are very good. Emily said, reverse, to change, avoidance of truth, toxic positivity. Yes, yes, yes. Chris had said to his question, I love everyone's answer. As it swords, I think I need to be strong in my mindset and know my shit too. Yes, Chris, I support you. Jackie said, when this is reversed, we could be staying stuck where we are. Jonathan, feeling attached or stuck in a situation that won't change. Robin says, make sure you know how to swim when your boat tips over, or at least wear a life jacket, right? Emily says, allowing our anxieties to continue to plague us. And then Ishi, don't fall into your emotions. Jonathan, you may try to leave, but feel the path to do so is blocked. And then Ishi, mind over heart. Those are great. You guys brought that quick. I love it. I give you a challenge and you rise right to it and then some. All right, and I didn't put up the banner for that, but y'all know what we just did, right? Okay, one final thing. I'm going to give you an activity and I'm going to send you on your way. This has been such an amazing, insightful play date. Y'all blow me away every week, but I feel sometimes there's just like really special ones that stand out to me. And I think this is going to be one of them. So thank you all for your amazing participation. Okay, this is a short one. This is actually an activity that was created by Elle. Oh my gosh, like a year and a half ago now, it's been practically. It's called Burn Baby Burn. We all have baggage that we want to leave behind. Oh, I got to fix a little typo before I type this in or put this into the description. Draw a card that will represent the baggage you want to leave behind. Write down your interpretation of the card as it relates to your baggage on a piece of paper. Draw a bag around it or some kind of container. It can be a suitcase, anything that contains the baggage, right? Then burn it. I love that. Burn the baggage. And is there any better time to do that than during the full moon, which is all about releasing things, right? What do we need to leave behind that's not serving us as we continue through this moon phase? Perfect, Elle, as you would say. All right, my friends, I just want to say a big, big thank you to all of you. I don't know. You guys have some additional comments that came in. I hope you enjoyed reading that in the chat. Elle says, burn, baby, burn. Oh, I was in a mood that day. All right, I will post that activity in the description box below this video, and I will also put it when I post a link to this video in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. I hope you will share additional Six of Swords that you guys have in your collections that you think maybe lend some nuance to all the discussions we've had here today. Thank you for sticking around. For those of you that did, still like 48 of you here. I appreciate you spending a long Playdate with me. And until I see you in the next one, I am sending you very much love. Mwah. Bye, everyone.